Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to install 64-bit Linux. This distro is called KDE-neon. So in this video we're going to do some steps. First of all, we start with downloading an ISO file to install the operating system. Then we will see different software for visualization. One of them is called VirtualBox and the other is Hyper-V from Microsoft. Then we will check if our computer has the virtualization on or off. Then we will create the virtual machine in our software of virtualization, and then we will install the operating system from the iOS file. Okay, so first we are going to download the KDE-neon. So we look for it, KDE-neon. In here you can go directly to the download webpage or to the official webpage of the KDE-neon. Okay, here download KDE-neon, and I recommend you to use the user edition instead of the testing edition. Okay, because testing edition is for experts and user edition it's regular of operating system users. Okay, so you have to download it. I already have downloaded. In here you can see it. So meanwhile the process of downloading, I will explain you the different software that we can use. If you are running Windows 10 or upper, you can use Hyper-V. Okay, and for the Linux users or Macintosh, I recommend you to use VirtualBox. Okay, if we go to VirtualBox webpage, you can download the software from here. If you are running Windows, you can download from here, or OS X, it's for Macintosh, Linux, and even Solaris. Okay, so you can download it from here, and it's an X file, so you install it and then you will have this solution as I have. Okay, this program. Okay, the VirtualBox, that I will talk about it later. Okay, so next step. In some computers we do not have the virtualization enabled, so we have to check if our computer has that virtualization option enabled on the BIOS. Okay, the basic input and output software. I recommend to check this web page because it explains very well what is virtualization, why it's not support, and how to enable it. Okay, this is the image that we can get. Okay, it's for Intel and for AMD. Hardware acceleration is not available on the system. Okay, so we require this feature and then we have to enable it. Okay, so in this web page they explain how to find out if your PC supports with virtualization. Okay, for Intel CPU, for AMD CPU, and how to enable it in the BIOS. Okay, for HP, Lenovo, Dell, Asus, and Acer computers. So if your computer is not here or this tutorial doesn't match to your computer, so you have to look for that information on the web. Okay, that's your job if it doesn't work. Okay, well, another thing that you need to know if you are going to use the Hyper-V is that not only you have to enable this option from the BIOS, Windows doesn't come with the virtualization property enabled, so you have to read this documentation. How to install Hyper-V on Windows 10. Okay, first of all you have to enable Hyper-V using PowerShell or through the settings. Okay, it doesn't matter, but you have to enable the Hyper-V, and then you have to have the software Hyper-V. Okay, but as I said before, I strongly recommend to use VirtualBox. Okay, because it's open source, it's cross-platform, so it's very easy to use. It's the most common software with virtualization for students and for home. Okay, so let's move to the next point. Now it's how to create a virtual machine. We are supposed that you have downloaded the iOS file, you have already installed the virtualization software, and then we have to create this machine. Okay, to create a new machine, it's very easy. You have to go to press the new button. In the name, we are going to type KDE-neon for computer system subject. Okay, which kind of operative system are we going to install? Linux. Okay, and which version? As I said before, it is 64 version GNU Linux, and KDE-neon, it comes from Ubuntu. Okay, so it is the version Ubuntu 64 bits. Okay, then we choose next. Depending on the memory, I am sure that all of you have a quite great memory. So big memory, I could consider more than 8 enough to virtualize this machine, and if you have more than 8 GB bytes, we can give it 2 GB bytes. Okay, so 2048 megabytes. Next, then next, create, next, all the options by default, but this one. Okay, this one is the hard drive. In the hard drive, we are going to choose 30 gigabytes in case we install some software in the future. Okay, so we create the machine and we already have this machine created. So now it's very important to check the options. We can check the options from here, right button, then configuration, or if you have selected the KDE-neon, you can go to the configuration through this button. Okay, general, the name, the type of the operative system, the version. Advanced, here is where the machine is installed. Okay, in my case it's in /home/Vicente/VirtualBox virtual machines /KDE-neon. Okay, then description and cipher, nothing. System, very important, the system, because we can change the RAM memory in here, or we can change as well the CPU. You can see here I have 8 CPUs, so I'm going to add another one for this machine. So this machine will run faster if I add another CPU. It's one core for virtualization. Okay, I have 8 cores, so I give 2 cores for this machine, so it will run faster. Acceleration, nothing. Screen, it's nothing. Storage, here it's very important because this is my hard drive. Okay, that I have created it. It is 30 gigabyte. Okay, but we do not have the operative system installed. Okay, so we have to press in here that is empty, and in here this is the optic device. The optic device is the DVD where we are going to put the ISO file. Okay, so I will choose this icon and then select file, and then here select file. I go to downloads. Hello. Well, it doesn't work. I have to wait a little bit. Okay, so I go to here, downloads iOS. load ISO folder, I choose the one that belongs to the Neon, okay, KDE-neon. So open it, then I see that in my controller I have the Neon ISO, so it's perfect. So next time that I start the computer, it will start the installation, okay? Then audio, I do nothing in here. Network here is very important to choose bridge adapter, okay? Bridge mode. I will explain you later on why it's so important, okay? Then nothing in here, nothing in USB, shared folders, user interface, nothing. Okay, so the things that we have to control, in my case, it was the CPU, okay, 2 of them, the storage for the DVD, and the network for the bridge mode for the network, okay? So everything is ready. Now KDE-neon is here selected, then we start the computer. It appears this option, select one file, okay? So in here I have used many installations, so I have to select the one that I am using now, okay? Neon user. I choose this one and then I start the computer. It should run quite fast, okay, because I gave it 2 cores, so I will let it time, okay, till it gets 100%. Everything was fine, and now it will start as we called live mode. The live mode in the operative system is when you can have the whole operative system without installing it, okay? So I can here get all the applications in the menu, okay? I can go through the file system in here, okay? I can check documents. Obviously it is nothing on it, but if I start it on a real computer, I could have access to all the hard drives, okay? So it's quite useful. Then if you want to browser the web, you can start also Firefox, and it will start, and it has all it needs for the browser the web, sorry. Okay, here you can see, okay, here's Abastos. It works perfectly, okay? So, but now we don't need to use the operative system. Now that we want is to install the operative system, okay? So you can check the operative system if you like it, if you don't like, the different menus, the options, the settings, the discover. That discover is the store for the applications, okay? But we are not going to touch it. We are going to install the system. If we double click the install the system, it will start the wizard to install the system, okay? Then we choose first of all the language, so next, then the region where we are, it's Europe, and the time zone is Madrid because it's the nearest one to us. Then next, English, no, we are going to use the Spanish keyboard. This is the configuration of the keyboard, Spanish, and we need to choose Spanish default or default, okay, default. Next, in here, it's the partition of our hard drive, okay? If our system is going to be installed in the whole hard drive, we have to select the erase disk. This option will delete all currently present or selected storage device. So in here we have unpartionated space or unknown partition table is 30 gigabytes, and then after we will install it. We will have the KDE-neon user with nearly 26 GB and 4 GB of swap. Swap is the virtual memory that allows when the computer lacks of enough RAM memory, it uses this part of the hard drive as a RAM memory. Okay, so we can open more programs that the RAM memory allows by default using this part of the hard drive as RAM memory, but it penalized a lot of time. Okay, so it is not recommendable. Okay, so in here erase disk and then next. Now what's your name? I used to use the alumni. What name do you want to use to log in? Alumni as well. What's the name of this computer? Alumni VirtualBox, and the password for me is alumni, and repeat the password is alumni as well, and logging in automatically without asking for the password. Okay, this is my option. So now we have to wait till the installations get the 100%. Okay, so let's wait a minute. Well, after waiting some minutes, we have the KDE already installed. This is the last screen, all done. KDE-neon has been installed on our computer. So now you may restart into your new system. So or continue using KDE-neon Live environment, as I told you before. Okay, this is the Neon Live. Now restart. Now it's selected, then done. Now it gives us a message that is, please remove the installation medium. The installation medium is the ISO file that we have located in the DVD, the virtual DVD. Then we have to do nothing about it. Okay, then only press enter. Then the computer will restart without the ISO file on the DVD. Okay, so let's wait for 30 seconds and we will see the computer starting. We have the computer now in the small screen, but there are a key combination that allows us to increase the size of this screen. If we press the right control, then F, it says it's going to change a full screen mode. So if you want to come back again, so you have to press Control and F again, right control. Okay, so host is the right control. Okay, so we said, okay, yes, we want to change, and it is occupying all the screen. Okay, if we want to use the whole screen as our screen by default, if it doesn't work, so we have to do the next. Okay, I go back to the screen, the normal screen, and then devices. Here insert the CD guest additions. Okay, then it's like putting a DVD on the optic device, and then okay, mount. I want to see it. Okay, then open it with File Manager. I open it with the File Manager, and then the thing that I have to execute in here, when we are in Dolphin, selecting the this /media/alumni/VirtualBox guest additions. Okay, but it's mounted by default. I can show you in here as well. Here, removable devices, VirtualBox guest additions. Okay, we are here now. We have to run this VirtualBox Linux additions.run. To execute it, we have to do the next. If we press F4, okay, F4 give us the possibility of to use a console in this folder. Okay, so if I do ls, I have here the file that I have to execute. So to execute this file, I have to do the next: sudo // and now with capital letters VirtualBox. The Linux does not distinguish between does distinguish between capital letters and lower letters. Okay, so we have to type it properly. Perfect. It has to be exactly as it is. Okay, so I put the password of my user, alumne, as well, and it starts installing the VirtualBox guests addition. Okay, it installs different applications in order to communicate better with the host operative system. Okay, now it asks us to reboot. Okay, running kernel modules will not be replaced until the system is started. I am sure that you remember when we studied in the previous unit that the Linux kernel, the current kernels, the modern operative system kernels are made using different modules. In here you have the perfect example. The running kernels modules will not be replaced until the system is restarted. So it is telling us that we have to restart the computer. So I can do the next: sudo reboot, enter, and it will restart the computer. I hope it takes less time. Okay, now it will restart with the new modules, the module of guest additions for the VirtualBox, and it is installed in order to, when I press the right control and the F key, it will take the whole screen. In here I am pressing it. Okay, now you can see I can use the whole screen. Okay, so now we have the whole operative system ready to use in this virtual machine. Discover is telling me that we have security updates. The Firefox, I can use the Firefox without any problem. And also, very important shortcut. If you press Ctrl-Alt-T, it will open a console. Okay, this console, if I press left control, then the mouse, the roller of the mouse, you can play with the roller of the mouse with pressing the left control, and then you will see the letters increasing the size. Okay, now to check my IP, if you type IP space A, enter, then you can check that my IP, we have here different interfaces. The one is the loopback interface, the second one is the interface, the real interface, and nothing else. Okay, so two interfaces. So the real one is the one that has the real IP. So the real IP is this one. Okay, I'm going to show you what is the IP of my real machine. Okay, here this is the, okay, let me do it in here. Okay, this is my machine, my user. Okay, and this is the host machine. IPO IP all, and here, well, I have many interfaces, but the good one is this one, okay, the Wi-Fi interface. And here you can see my IP is 10.0.0.135/24. Okay, so if I go to the KDE-neon, I see this is the 138. So they are in the same network. So if I do ping to 10.0.0.135, I have a response. Okay, I have a response because the machine is awake, is up. Okay, then I will can access to the machine with different ways. For instance, I will explain you how to do this, but in the future. If I want to access to the web page of my Ubuntu, well, I'm using KDE-neon as well, but as I told you before, it's a derivation of Ubuntu. So this is my real computer, and here I have the web server. So this is my web server. Okay, so for today, this is the video that I wanted to record for you, and well, that's all. You have installed your first virtual machine. Okay, to close it is as easy as the rest. We have an operative system installed on a virtual machine, and this operative system thinks that he is running on a real machine. Okay, so thank you very much, and see you next video.